Over 400,000 people live in America without electricity, without cars, and without the internet. They're the Amish, and their population doubles every 20 years. But here's what nobody talks about. What happens when an Amish woman gets married? There's no white dress, no diamond ring, no romantic honeymoon in Hawaii. Instead, there's a centuries-old bedroom ritual that would make most modern couples uncomfortable. A tradition where young couples lie in bed together before they're even engaged. And a wedding night that ends with chores. This is the truth about Amish wedding tradition, and some of it is going to surprise you. To understand Amish weddings, you first need to understand who the Amish actually are. The Amish are a Christian group that broke away from the Mennonites in 1693, following a Swiss elder named Jacob Amann. They came to America in the 1700s to escape religious persecution in Europe, and they've been living apart from mainstream society ever since. Today, there are over 400,000 Amish people living in 32 states across America. Pennsylvania has the most, followed by Ohio and Indiana. But here's what's wild. Their population is growing faster than almost any other group in the country, around 3 to 4% per year. Most families have 5 to 7 children, and about 85% of those children stay in the community when they grow up. The Amish call non-Amish people English, and they keep themselves separate from the English world by design. No cars, no electricity from the public grid, no television, plain clothing with no zippers or buttons. Men grow beards after marriage, women wear head coverings. But the Amish aren't frozen in time. Different communities have different rules, called the Ordnung. Some use phones in barns for business. Some ride in cars driven by others. Some communities are strict, others are more relaxed. However, there's one thing all Amish communities take seriously: marriage. For the Amish, family is everything. Divorce is forbidden. And choosing a spouse is the most important decision an Amish person will ever make. So how do they find the right one? Amish dating starts around age 16, when young people join what's called the youth group. This is also when Rumspringa begins. You've probably heard of it. It's the period when Amish teenagers are given more freedom before they decide whether to be baptized into the church. But here's where it gets interesting. In some Amish communities, there's a courtship practice that outsiders find shocking. It's called bundling or bed courtship. Bundling works like this. A young man asks a girl if he can take her home after the Sunday night singing. If she says yes, he drives her home in his buggy. But he doesn't just drop her off. He comes inside, and in some communities, he finds his way to her bedroom. Now, before you jump to conclusions, this isn't what you might think. The couple lies in bed together, fully clothed, sometimes with a wooden board down the middle of the bed to keep them separated, sometimes wrapped in separate bundling bags so only their heads are showing. The purpose isn't physical intimacy, it's conversation, getting to know each other by talking all night. Bundling didn't start with the Amish. It's actually an old European custom dating back centuries. The practice was common in Wales, Germany, Switzerland, and even colonial New England. When Amish ancestors were being persecuted in Europe, young couples would hide in upstairs bedrooms during their dates. It was cold up there, so they'd get under the covers to stay warm while they talked. The board in the middle was meant to keep things appropriate. Today, bundling is controversial even among the Amish. Many communities have abandoned it completely. The New Order. Amish forbid it. They have rules that unmarried couples must keep their hands and lips off each other, but some conservative groups still practice it. The Swartzentreuber Amish and certain Old Order communities continue the tradition. And yes, sometimes it leads to exactly what you'd expect. Pregnancies before marriage happen. When they do, the solution is usually a quick wedding before the pregnancy shows. Now, regardless of whether a community practices bundling, all Amish courtships share some common features. Dating is kept secret, even from parents. A couple might date for months before telling anyone. When a man decides he wants to marry a woman, he doesn't give her a diamond ring. The Amish consider jewelry too worldly. Instead, he might give her something practical, like china dishes or a clock. The engagement stays secret until it's published at church, usually just a few weeks before the wedding. But there are ways to guess which families have a wedding coming. If you see them painting their house or planting an unusual amount of celery, that's a dead giveaway. Why celery? Because celery is central to Amish weddings. It's used in the main dishes, served as a side, and even used as decoration in place of flowers. Once the engagement is published, everything moves fast. Amish weddings traditionally happen in late fall, after the harvest. November and December are the most popular months, and they're almost always held on Tuesdays or Thursdays. Why? Because the day before is needed for preparation, and the day after is needed for cleanup. Having a wedding on Saturday would mean cleaning up on Sunday, which is sacrilegious. The wedding ceremony takes place at the bride's home, not a church. The Amish don't have church buildings. They worship in members' homes or barns. Guest lists are massive. 200 to 500 people is normal. The whole community comes out. Now, the ceremony itself is nothing like an English wedding. There's no walking down the aisle. No, you may kiss the bride. No wedding photographer. Photography is forbidden in most Amish communities because they consider it a form of vanity. Instead, the ceremony is basically a church service. It starts around 8:30 in the morning and lasts 3 to 3.5 hours. Guests sit on hard, backless wooden benches the entire time. There are sermons, hymn singing, scripture readings, all in German. At some point during the service, the bishop takes the couple aside privately. He gives them counseling, advice about married life, and his blessing. Then the couple returns to exchange their vows in front of the congregation. The bride doesn't wear white. White is too fancy, too worldly. Instead, she wears a new dress in blue or purple, usually blue. She makes this dress herself, along with the matching dresses for her bridesmaids. These bridesmaids are called newlyweds, which means side-sitters in Pennsylvania Dutch. There's no maid of honor or best man. Everyone in the wedding party is considered equal. Here's something that might surprise you. The bride will wear this same blue dress to church every Sunday for the rest of her life, and when she dies, she'll be buried in it. After the ceremony comes the feast, and the Amish know how to throw a feast. The meal typically includes roast chicken or turkey with stuffing, mashed potatoes with gravy, creamed celery, coleslaw, vegetables, homemade bread, pies, donuts, and pudding. Preparing this much food for hundreds of guests requires help from the entire community. Women gather days before to start cooking. The bride and groom sit at a special corner table called the Ek. Their attendants sit nearby. And here's where the matchmaking begins. The bride and groom often try to pair up their unmarried attendants with each other during the celebration. After the meal, there's more singing, visiting, fellowship. The celebration can last all day, but eventually, evening comes. The crowd thins, and the newlyweds face their wedding night. This is where things get really different from what you might expect. In most cultures, the wedding night is private, romantic, the beginning of the honeymoon. For the Amish, there is no honeymoon, not in the way you're thinking. The newlywed couple spends their first night as husband and wife in the bride's parents' house, the same house where the wedding just took place, the same house full of family members. Why? Because Amish couples don't have their own home yet. They go from living with their parents straight to getting married. There's no moving out for college, no getting an apartment, no living independently first. So on their wedding night, they're still under their parents' roof. Now, the parents often give the couple a bedroom suite as a wedding gift, handmade furniture crafted by family or local craftsmen, beautiful quilts and linens. The marriage bed is ready for them. But here's the thing, the couple isn't alone. In some communities, the wedding night includes extended family time. The couple might spend part of the evening visiting with relatives, building bonds with their new in-laws. Fellowship is valued over privacy. And then there are the pranks. Amish young people have a mischievous streak that most outsiders never see. Wedding pranks are a tradition in many communities, and some of them are elaborate. Friends might move the couple's entire bed into a cornfield. They'll set up a nightstand next to it with a kerosene lantern so the couple can find it in the dark. They might hoist the groom's buggy onto the roof of an outbuilding. They might scatter cornstarch, pepper, or flour between the sheets. One tradition involves sprinkling donuts in the bed. They'll set alarm clocks to go off in the middle of the night. They might hide or disassemble things: the horse's harness, the bedroom door, the bed itself. Some pranksters have been known to start up chainsaws outside the couple's bedroom window after they've retired for the night. All in good fun, apparently. According to Richard Stevick's book, Growing Up Amish: The Rumspringa Years, these pranks are documented across multiple Amish communities. Some couples have walked out of their wedding celebration to discover their bed assembled on top of the house. Not every Amish community supports these pranks. Some elders have spoken out against them, but in communities where they're accepted, they add an unexpected element of chaos to the wedding night. And whatever happens on the wedding night, there's no sleeping in the next morning. The newly married couple is expected to wake up early and help clean up the mess from the wedding. Hundreds of guests generate a lot of dishes, a lot of trash, a lot of work. The day after the wedding is a work day. Extended family comes back to help carry out the benches, put the house back in order, and return borrowed items. The married couple doesn't get to lounge around in newlywed bliss. They get to work. So if there's no traditional honeymoon, what do Amish newlyweds do after the wedding? They visit. A lot. For the next several months, the couple's honeymoon consists of weekend trips to the homes of everyone who attended their wedding. This is when they receive most of their wedding gifts. The schedule is intense. According to tradition, they might visit one place Friday night and stay for breakfast Saturday morning. Then visit a second place Saturday afternoon for lunch. A third place for dinner. Saturday night at a fourth place. Sunday breakfast at a fifth. Sunday lunch at a sixth. Sunday dinner at a seventh before finally returning to the bride's parents' home. That's potentially 7 different households in one weekend, and they'll do this for months, working through the entire guest list. The gifts they receive are practical: dishes, cookware, tools, canned food, household items. The Amish don't give registry gifts from Target. They give things the couple will actually need to start their life together. Eventually, usually by the following spring, the couple moves into their own home. The community often helps build it. And once they're settled, they start having children. Quickly. Contraception is not allowed in Amish life. Large families are seen as a blessing from God. 5 children is average. 7 or more is common. This is why the Amish population doubles every 20 years. When a man gets married, he starts growing a beard. No mustache, just the beard. This is how you can tell married Amish men from unmarried ones. The women's head coverings may also change after marriage, depending on the community. And that marriage is for life. There is no divorce. Couples who separate may be shunned by the community. Marriage is a sacred commitment made before God, the church, and the entire community. The Amish wedding traditions might seem strange to outsiders. The bundling, the lack of honeymoon, the morning after chores, the bed in the cornfield. But there's something to be said for a community where marriage is taken this seriously, where the whole community shows up to celebrate, where couples start their life together surrounded by family instead of alone in a hotel room, where practical gifts replace fancy registries, where "till death do us part" actually means something. The Amish have maintained these traditions for over 300 years, and based on their population growth, they're not going anywhere. If you found this interesting, you might want to see what happens during Rumspringa, when Amish teenagers get their first taste of the outside world. That video is on screen now. Subscribe if you want more content like this.